ทดสอบ walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for me. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. Feel like a dynamite, ready to explode right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying.
We started Zen from scratch, starting with a clean sheet of paper.
Zen turned out to be a grounds-up design, which doesn't come along very often.
In the life of an engineer, you get to build something this significant once, twice, if you're lucky, 3 times in your lifetime. AMD enables the engineers to go out and innovate and to bring to market what it is that they dream about.
I'm extremely pleased to show you for the first time the name of our new CPU. Now it's time for you to see Ryzen in action. We wanted to disrupt the PC market. We wanted to bring innovation, choice, and performance to as many people as possible. In high-performance PCs, it was about delivering more performance at every single price point.
The Ryzen Threadripper acknowledges that there are people who want to create and game on the same PC and need the scalability and need the performance to do that. And that's what's really exciting about the Threadripper chip.
It was our commitment to our customers that we would deliver to the roadmap that we set out, and momentum is now on our side.
The anticipation around 3rd Gen Ryzen is really impressive. Meet the world's first 16-core gaming processor.
Now in 2019, 3rd Gen Ryzen is it.
What we did in Zen was push well beyond what we thought we could do. It makes me so proud to be able to look back and say that I was part of that.
Our mission with Ryzen has always been clear. It's about making the right bets 3 to 5 years in advance and making sure that they come to fruition. Our goal is to give you the best. Welcome, everyone. Big welcome to all of you, and thank you all for joining us today. I've been looking forward to this moment all year, and I know many of you have too. It's been a challenging year for everyone as we've navigated the COVID-19 pandemic globally. But one thing we've learned is just how important high-performance computing technologies really are. From work to school to gaming to entertainment, the PC is now the computing platform of choice in 2020. And I'm really excited to show you today what we have been working on for the next-gen PC platforms, and especially for all of you gamers. Now, it's already been an incredible year for gamers. There's so much excitement around the next-gen consoles. We are so proud to power the new Sony PlayStation 5 with a high-performance custom chip featuring our AMD Ryzen and AMD Radeon GPU technology. And we're equally proud that custom AMD processors also power the new Microsoft Xbox Series X and Series S consoles, again featuring our high-performance Ryzen and Radeon technologies. These consoles are bringing just incredible technology to gamers all over the world, and are really a result of deep engineering partnerships over many, many years with both Sony and Microsoft. Now, gaming is at the heart of so much of what we do at AMD. Whether you're talking about PCs or consoles or cloud gaming and mobile. AMD loves gaming. We like to say gaming begins with AMD.
ของ AMD เนี่ยมี
So today we're going to talk
production
specifically
อะไรอย่าง
about
งี้
our next-gen PC gaming platform. So let's talk a little bit about Ryzen.
เกมหรือ
Now,
โมบาย
you
ก็
guys
ตาม
know we
นะครับ
brought the first generation of Ryzen to market in 2017. And we actually had one goal. It was to build the best PC desktop processor possible. Now, we knew we wouldn't get there in one step. But with each generation of Ryzen, it's gotten better. And we focused on how do we deliver more performance? How do we deliver the best features? And how do we give more capabilities to all of you PC enthusiasts so that you can do more than you ever thought with your desktop or in your notebook? And we've made great, great progress. We started with Ryzen in desktops, and then we introduced
จริง
Ryzen
AMD เนี่ย
Threadripper in high-end
ช่วง
desktops.
เนี้ยตั้งแต่
And now, actually, Ryzen is in many amazing notebook systems
ตั้ง
with
แต่
our Ryzen
NVIDIA เนี่ย
4000 series.
ซื้อ
I think it's
ตาม
safe
ไป
to say that
มัน
AMD
ก็เริ่มน่า
loves
ส
the
นใจ
PC.
ว่า AMD อ่ะ
And I
จะ
think
เอาอะไร
also it's safe to say that
ออก
PC
มาสู้
users
ช่วง
love
เนี้ย
Ryzen.
ใน
So we
แต่ละ
really
ในแต่ละ
appreciate
การเปิดตัวจะเป็นเรื่องที่น่า
Now
สน
look,
ใจมาก
let's just focus on the desktop for a few minutes. The progress we have made over the last few years has been really amazing. If you look at the market before Ryzen, the desktop PC was on sort of an incremental performance slope for the last many years. Now, over the past 3 years, we've significantly changed that trajectory and really completely reset expectations as we've gone from 1st Gen Ryzen to 2nd Gen, now to 3rd Gen Ryzen. We were the first to launch a 7nm desktop processor, and today, 3rd Gen Ryzen leads in so many areas. We're the highest in multi-threaded performance. We are the best in terms of power efficiency, and third gen Ryzen is an absolutely great gaming processor. But as you know, we're really ambitious. So our work with Ryzen is never done.
เนี่ยครั
Our
บเพิ่งเริ่ม
engineers
ตอน
have
5
been
ทุ่ม
on
ตรง
this
ครับพี่
maniacal focus of what can we do more?
เนี่ยกำลัง
What can we
เกริ่น
do
อยู่
better?
ก็
So
เขาก็เล่าถึง
today,
ประวัติเนี่ย
we're
ตั้ง
here
แต่
to talk
เส้นตัว
about
แรก
our
โผล่
brand
เข้า
new
มา
CPU
ทำให้รู้สึก
core.
ว่าตลาดมันดีขึ้น
You've all
เรื่
been
อย
waiting for it.
ๆแล้วเขาต้อง
It's
การ
all
เจาะตลา
about
ด
Zen
ดีมากขึ้น
3. And with Zen 3, we focused again on
Không-
bringing
không
the
nụ
best
nha,
to
lụt
the
nè.
PC market. I'm so proud of what we've accomplished.
อะไรนะพี่
Zen 3
Lụt, lụt,
increases
lụt,
our
không nụ
lead
lụt.
in overall performance.
ลูกเหรอ
It increases our lead in power efficiency. And also now, it delivers the best single-threaded performance and gaming performance as well. We've made massive changes in the core architecture, and I'm sure all of you want to know what's inside Zen 3. So let me hand it over to AMD CTO Mark Papermaster to give you all the details. Mark?
Well, thank you, Lisa. I couldn't be more excited than to share a little bit more about Zen 3 and our progression to get here.
เชิญคุณ
It's
มาร์ค
been
นะครับ
quite a journey. We set a course over 5 years ago to design a family of high-performance x86 CPUs. Our goal, very simply, outright leadership. We set up the team so that development of multiple processor generations could be done in parallel, with designers leapfrogging from one generation to another. This has resulted in consistent delivery to the market as promised. I could not be more proud than to help unveil our third generation of Zen Core debuting in Ryzen desktops this fall. It is a beast in performance and will deliver absolute leadership in the x86 market. Zen brought us back into high performance with a 52% improvement in instruction per clock in a single generation. It built a strong base for us to build upon as we developed the Zen family. Last year, Zen 2 brought double-digit % increase in instruction per clock and debuted 7 nanometer in chiplet technology. That 7 nanometer efficiency enabled leadership, multi-core performance, and core density. The innovative chiplet implementation allowed us ease of manufacturing with the small 7 nanometer die and scalability to leadership core counts. And now Zen 3. Wow, what a great job by the design team to improve every aspect of the CPU, delivering leadership performance in that same 7 nanometer node. Higher frequency, higher instruction per clock, with design improvements across all of the CPU components, and lower latency on top of that. You look at some of the key elements. There's a new layout of our processor that brings all the cores onto a unified 8-core complex, and that accelerates core-to-core communication. That's especially helpful for gaming workloads. That consolidation actually allows every core to directly access the 32 megabytes of L3 cache. And that dramatically accelerates workloads that are latency sensitive, like gaming. And finally, significant changes throughout the Zen 3 architecture, generating a 19% instruction per clock uplift. That's on top of the significant gains that we had just in the mid of last year with Zen 2. Altogether, Zen 3 is our most significant architectural update yet across the Zen family. We made the Zen 3 floating point and integer execution units wider, more flexible, and allows us to deliver more execution capability to the user at a lower latency. We've increased the number of loads and stores that we can do versus Zen 2, helping us feed those wider execution capabilities of Zen 3. We've added more branch prediction bandwidth. It allows Zen 3 to tackle back-to-back predictions much more quickly, reducing the delays. We call it zero bubble. These innovations keep Zen 3 ahead of the industry norm on generational improvements and position Zen 3-based Ryzen to be a clear desktop performance leader. Microprocessor performance engineering never has one single bullet. It takes focused microprocessor engineering. It's a broad set of improvements that are needed to make a great architecture. It takes innovation on all of the key levers. Zen 3 is a total front-to-back redesign. The microarchitecture had laser focus on performance on every element, end-to-end improvements, caching, load store, our execution units, our prefetching, our dispatch, our decode. Zen 2, in fact, had been organized with 2 4-core cache complexes, and it was tightly integrated. That was a very good design, but what we found is that we brought that together into that single unified cache core complex, that we brought that direct access to 32 megabytes of L3 cache rather than the 16 megabytes that we have with Zen 2. That direct access to a cache pool of this size is very significant for gaming. They tend to make frequent use, of course, of the memory subsystem, and in fact, many games have a dominant thread. And that makes
จริงเราไม่ต้องมานั่งคุยนั่ง
use of
ฟัง
the
อย่าง
cache.
เดียวก็
And
ได้นะ
that thread now sees effectively twice the
สมาธิ
L3
ฟัง
cache
มาก
in
ครับ
Zen
พี่
3.
ใช่
So every core can now communicate directly to the cache without traversing across the die. And that reduces latency. And it stays synchronized for applications using AI, audio, physics, and more. You can see that we continue our relentless commitment to energy efficiency with every generation. We're always honing our design methodologies to focus on performance per watt, even as we make the processors faster for gamers. Zen 3 is no different, delivering up to 24% improvement in power efficiency versus the prior generation. That's double-digit performance per watt uplift in the same process node. And that's on top of all the architectural changes that we drove in to drive up the performance. Our commitment to energy efficiency across time has put us in the driver's seat. Today, we're more than 2.8x more efficient than competing high-end desktop processors. And that's only a strengthening of the leadership that we demonstrated during the prior Zen 2 era.
พวก Ryzen 2 ปีเนี้ย
We will
ค่อนข้าง
not
คิด
let
อา
up
จจะ
going
คิด
forward.
เยอะนิดนึ
We're
ง
focused on execution. Zen 3 is shipping as promised, and the 5-nanometer Zen 4 on track in design.
มาถึงซีรีส์
AMD
2,000
team
นะครับ
is hitting on
ใช่
all
ใช่ใช่
cylinders, and there's no shortage of innovation
จริง
for
ๆ มั
the
น
next generation of
จริงๆ
Zen
ล่าสุด
processors
เพื่อน
to
พี่เพิ่ง
keep
ซื้อไป
AMD in the
ก็เลย
forefront
แบ
and
บ
deliver the best
มัน
compute
มันก็ยังน่า
experience
ใช้อยู่นะ
for our customers. Thank you. And let me welcome back
Ryzen
Lisa to
4
now show
Zen
off
4 Zen
our
4 นี่
3
5 นาโนเมตร
and new Ryzen processors.
เซน 4 น่าจะอยู่ในซีรีส์ 5,000 ป่ะพี่ เพราะว่าเซน 3 รู้เดาว่า
Thank you,
ต้องเป็น
Mark.
2
That was
Ryzen
great.
Ryzen 3
So
ซีรีส์
proud of what the
5,000
team has
ที่
accomplished
เรา
with
ไปนั่ง
Zen
หาข้อ
3.
มูลมานะ
We really focused on what is most important for
แต่
gamers and
Ryzen
enthusiasts.
เราคิดดูว่า
And
ถ้า
that
Ryzen 4 ออก
19%
มาปุ๊บ
IPC
มันจะ
increase, it's our largest increase
Ryzen 7
generation over generation since we launched the Zen
Wow.
family. So now let's see Zen 3 in action. I'm so proud to show you for the very first time the AMD Ryzen 5000 series for high performance PCs, the world's first Zen 3 powered CPU. This is the AMD Ryzen 9 5900X. 12 cores, 24 threads, and a boost up to 4.8 gigahertz. It's a very special product, the ultimate enthusiast processor. Compared to the 3900 XT, the 5900X has 19% higher IPC, higher clock speeds,
อ๋อ มัน
and
เปิดตัว
all
เป็
of
น
the
ซีรี
Zen
ส์
3
5,000 เลย
core
นะเข้าใจว่า
improvements
มัน
that
มี
Mark
4,000
talked
ก่อน
about, all while remaining at 105 watts. This makes Ryzen 5900X a big upgrade from 3rd gen Ryzen all around, but especially in gaming. Now let me turn it over to Robert Halleck to show you the 5900X in action.
เป็น 95 พัน
Thanks, Lisa.
5,900X
Hey, everyone. Let me give you a sense of just how much
เปลี่ยนคอม
faster
ไหมเราประกอบ
the
คอมไหม
5900X is compared to our current best, the 3900 XT.
มาปุ๊
To
บ
do
เปลี่ยน
that,
ให้เลย
we're
แล้วกัน
going to
นะ
look at Shadow of the Tomb Raider, a game I personally
ก็
love,
สักปีห
and
น้า
a game
ก่อนแล้วกัน
reviewers often look at to judge CPU performance.
ตอนนี้
We're
ใช้
going to run the
Intel
built-in benchmark here at 1080p using the
Gen 7
high image quality preset on two otherwise identical systems. You can see a whopping 28% increase just by moving from the 39XT to the 5900X in Shadow of the Tomb Raider. And as you will soon see, the performance from the 5900X is faster than the competing processors as well. Now, as any enthusiast knows, 28% from a processor change is a massive upgrade. But that's what AMD customers like me can look forward to. This truly demonstrates the gaming strength for Zen 3 when you combine the historic IPC uplift, unified cores, and unified cache pools. Now, as we zoom out to look at a wider set of games, you can see that the 28% uplift in Shadow of the Tomb Raider is joined by many titles with significant double-digit performance improvements. The gains are even bigger in titles like CSGO
and League of Legends, where the highest possible frame rate is practically the number one priority to be competitive. Overall, gamers upgrading from the Ryzen 3000 series to the Ryzen 5000 series can expect an average performance improvement of 26% at 1080p. Again, this is just a monumental performance jump for an in-socket upgrade in the same motherboard, and a true testament for how good Zen 3 is in gaming. Now, as many know, strong gaming performance relies on
ลองดู
strong
แผน
single
กราฟ
core
ด้านหลัง
performance. That's exactly what Zen 3 has. And I want to show you using Cinebench R20 single thread. There are many ways to assess single thread performance, but Cinebench is a fast and easy tool that you can run at home. And it's one of the 25 workloads that we used to calculate the 19% improvement for Zen 3's instructions per cycle. As you can see, the 5900X is the first desktop processor to ever break a 600 score. And we don't break it by a little, we break it by a lot with a score
สกอร์ต่างกันเยอะ
of
อยู่นะ
631. We at AMD heard you loud and clear as you challenged us to continue investing in single core performance, and the results speak for themselves. The combination of IPC, frequency, cores, and cache give AMD the fastest cores in the desktop market and give you the best possible gaming performance. So let's take that landmark core performance into a head-to-head battle. Across the same set of games you
ลอง
just
ลอง
saw,
มานั่งดูดิ
the AMD Ryzen 9 5900X is a clear winner at 1080p.
.A อ่ะ
As I
ช่วยนิด
promised
นึง
you,
อ่ะ
AMD wins in Shadow of the Tomb Raider by plus 6,
6%
and is joined by many other games popular
รู้
with
สึกว่าตอนนี้
viewers
มันอาจจะ
and
ไม่ได้ใช้
users like
CPU
you.
เยอะขนาดนั้นนะ
League of Legends and CSGO are once again standout victories for
เนี่ย
the
อย่าดู
Ryzen
ดู
9
Battlefield ดิทำไมมันลบ
5900X. So that was a lot of data very quickly. Let's take a step back. Let's
คำถาม
recap.
คือทำไม-3
You saw an average
เนี่ยทุกคน
uplift
ถาม
of
หมดเลยว่า-3
26% for Ryzen customers
ในช่อง
upgrading
แชทของ
from the
ช่อง
3000
AMD
series
นะ
to the 5000 series.
ใช่กำลัง
You
ดูอ
just
ยู่
watched AMD deliver the highest single core performance in the entire desktop PC market. And you just saw AMD clearly offer the best performance of any gaming processor.
เนี่ยทุกคนถามเลย-3 ของ
I will
Battlefield
put
V
it
เนี่ยคืออะไร
plainly. We know that you're going to wait for benchmarks, but customers who buy processors purely for their gaming performance will absolutely want a Ryzen 9 5900X for the best possible PC gaming experience. Now let's bring Lisa back up to give you more details on these awesome gaming processors.
แต่จริงๆ-3
Thanks,
มัน
Robert.
ก็น่าจะไม่
That was
เยอะขนาดนั้นมั้ง
fantastic. I hope you're all now convinced that the Ryzen 9 5900X is the
อาจจะเป็น
best
ทางค่าย
gaming
Nvidia ที่ได้รับ
processor in the world.
พัฒนา
Now
เทค
let's
โนโล
look at
ยี
the
ไปทาง
stats.
นั้นเปล่าทำให้บาง
In
เก
the
มถูกลดล
5000
ง
series,
ลดดรอ
we
ป
have
ล
a
งมา
great choice for every gamer or PC enthusiast. In addition to the 5900X, we have the 5800X, an 8-core, 16-thread processor with boost frequencies up to 4.7 gigahertz at 105 watts. And we also have the
12 เทรด
5600X,
อะ
a 6-core,
5900
12-thread
นะ
CPU with boost frequencies
เนี่ย
up to
ถ้าสำหรับ
4.6
ตัวพื้นฐานเลย
gigahertz
ก็
at
5600X นี่แหละ
65 watts.
ตัวเริ่มต้น
Now
ที่
let's talk about
สำหรับคน
price
ทั่ว
and
ไปน่าจะเข้าถึง
availability.
ได้ง่ายด้วย
The 6-core 5600X is $299. The 8-core 5800X is
ดูเบสท็อป
$449.
549 อ่ะ
And the amazing
อยู่ที่
5900X,
ตัว
combining the
5500
leadership performance and
หมื่
power
น
of
เจ็ดเองอ่ะ
3
i7 อ่ะ
in a
i9
12-core
อ่ะ
7nm
เอ้ย
design is
Ryzen 9
priced
อ่ะ
at $549. And all of these will be available globally on November 5th.
17,000 เองอ่ะ
We're really proud of the
เว้ย
5000 series, but you know we're not done. We love our enthusiasts, and there's one more processor in our stack, which is the ultimate processor for gaming and content creation. For those of you who want the very best processor in a desktop PC, we have the 16-core Ryzen 9 5950X. The 5950X is simply an amazing CPU. 16 cores, 32
เนี่ยเหรอ
threads, and our fastest processor with boost frequencies up to 4.9 gigahertz.
L2 L3
The
12 นะครับ
5950X breaks the Cinebench R20 single-threaded record that Robert set just a few minutes ago with a score of 640. It is truly the best in class in every dimension. Best gaming performance meets best processor for content
อัน
creation,
นี้คือตัวท็อป
and
สุด
all
ใช่ไหม
of this
5950
still at 105 watts. Now let's take a
ไม่ใช่
look
ไป
at
เท่า
some
กับ
of the
รุ่น
ตัวท็อปสุด
performance.
ที่5950
If we look at the generational uplift from the
เทียบหน่อย
3950X
เทียบหน่
to
อย
the
จ้ะ
5950X, we see up to 27% more performance
อุ้ย
in CAD
ต่างเยอะนะ
workloads,
ต่างเยอะ
and
นะ
12% more performance in rendering workloads.
กับตัว
More impressively, we see up to 29% more
มันขับ
gaming
ไปกรรมใหม่
performance. And this is really how we bring the best of both worlds together. The best for gamers
เกม
and the
performance
best
จริง
for
อะ
creators.
มันมาเพื่อ
And
เกม
now, if
performance
you
จริง
put 5950X against the top of the stack from the competition, we see that the 5950X provides up to 59% more creative performance in rendering workloads, double-digit
ดูนี่
wins
ครับ
in video
Render
editing and software compiling, and we also win in lightly threaded CAD workloads as well.
แคทเพิ่ม
We're
6%
really
เอง
proud of the fact
วิดีโอ
that we
editing อย่าง
also win
Adobe
in gaming. There's nothing
Adobe
like the
Premiere Pro
5950X in the world.
ถือว่า
One processor that delivers the best power
คือตอนเนี้ย
efficiency,
พี่ไม่
the
รู้หรอก
highest
เพราะว่า
clock
จริงๆอ่ะ
speeds,
ตอนเนี้
the
ยพี่
highest
ใช้
single
i7
core performance in the industry,
แค่
and the highest multi-core performance of any gaming processor. And it's priced at $799 and will also be available globally on November 5th. I hope you're now as excited about AMD Ryzen 5000 series as
ความ
I
รู้สึก
am.
พี่แบบ
Zen 3 is
ไปถึงจุดนั้น
really
นี่คืออะไร
amazing,
วะ
and I'm so happy we could show it to you today. But you guys send me a
I
lot
get
of notes and a lot of
4
tweets, and I know that you're not just excited about Ryzen 5000 series, but there's a tremendous amount of enthusiasm and curiosity about our Radeon lineup as well. So the next few weeks are just an amazing time for us. In addition to introducing our Ryzen 5000 series, we're also going to introduce our
Ryzen
next gen
9
Radeon
590 กับ
GPU.
593
And I want to give you a small preview of that today.
เรเดียนก็
This
มา
is the AMD Radeon RX 6000 series, which we now affectionately call Big Navi, thanks to many of you who nicknamed it for
นะ
us.
ขอดูหน่อย
It
เถอะ
is absolutely gorgeous and by far the most powerful gaming GPU we have
สวย
ever
อยู่นะ
built.
ตัวนี้
We got a lot of
3
requests from our fans on
3
social,
ระบายความ
and
ร้อน
I
ให้
heard
ดีขึ้น
a whole conversation on the Full Nerd last week about wanting to see Zen 3 and Big Navi in action. So today, I'm going to show you a preview of what you can expect from AMD Ryzen 9 5900X and our
เชื่อว่า
Radeon
ประมาณ
6000 series. We've
699
been doing a tremendous amount of work optimizing gameplay with Ryzen 5000 and Radeon 6000 series. So let me show you today Borderlands 3, which is a very popular AAA title running at 4K resolution on the Ryzen 5900X and our Radeon 6000 series. Just take a look at that performance. Over 60 frames per second at 4K with beautiful image quality.
ดูตอน
We
แบบ
are
เรนเดอ
super
ร์คู่
excited
กับ
with what we've
ตัว
accomplished with Big Navi.
CPU ของมันดี
In addition to Borderlands
จริงๆอ่ะ
3, here's a
ที่อยาก
bit
ที่
more
อยาก
of a
เห็นจริงๆ
performance
ก็คือ
preview on Call of Duty Modern
คือระหว่าง
Warfare and Gears of
การ์ด
War
จอกับ
5 at
CPU
ultra settings in
พอมันทำ
4K.
หน้าที่รวมกันแล้ว
And
อะ
again, what you see is tremendous
น่า
4K
จะ
performance across the board. We still have a few weeks until launch, and the team is working really hard on fine-tuning
คือ
things.
คือ
But
การ์ด
I
จอ
hope you're as
ตัว
excited
Radeon
as we
6000
are
เนี่ย
about what
มัน
Ryzen 5000
มัน
series
รับ
and
จอ
Radeon
4K อยู่แล้ว
6000
ใช่ไหม
series can do together
ทีเนี้ย
for your
มันต้อง
next
ทำให้มันมาได้
generation
4K แล้วแหละ
PC.
เพราะว่าเหมือนเป็นมาตรฐาน
So that
ใหม่
brings
แล้ว
us
ใช่
to the
ใช่
end.
ใช่ตอนนี้
I hope you
พวก
enjoyed
ไลฟ์
today.
YouTube นี่
It's
เป็น
been so
4K ห
much
มดละ
fun spending time with you. We have a lot more to show you later this month, so join us again on October 28th, where we'll give you the full story of our AMD
แต่
Radeon
ตอนนี้
RX
พี่ตัดต่อ
6000
คลิปยังตัด
series.
ต่อ 4K เลย
And
แต่
make
ว่า
sure you mark your
มัน
calendar for
ไม่
November
ไหว
5th
เมม
to find Ryzen
คือ
5000
CPU ไม่
series
ไหว
on shelf worldwide.
ตัวนี้
Take
เป็น
care
ตัว
and
ที่
see you soon.
พี่อาจจะต้องซื้อหรือเปล่า
ก็อาจจะต้องอัปเกรดเลย เพราะว่าถ้าให้ทำงาน4 ปีหลังๆเนี่ยงานโปรดักชั่นมันต้องใช้อย่างละมวลเยอะอยู่นะ
ใช่
แล้วก็
ใช่
ตอนนี้ที่มันทำมาเนี่ยก็สำหรับเล่นเกมไงก็เพราะฉะนั้นเกมเดี๋ยวนี้ 4K มันก็ต้องทำให้มันดูดีขึ้นอ่ะ
ใช่ คือตอนเนี้ยถ้าพี่ตัด 4K พี่ต้องทำ proxy ไง จบแล้วแต่ว่าพันซีรีส์อ่ะน่าสนใจมากหนูว่าไง
ใช่อันนี้ก็มาน้ำจิ้มหน่อยแล้วมา
เนี่ยของ เราไปดูของพวกแก๊งเราไปดูคุณโสกรอ่ะ
ใครนะซอนกอนเหรอ ใช่บางซอนป่ะพี่
อุตส่าห์รอฟัง มันยังไม่มีข้อมูลจริงต้องรออีก
จ
ที
ริง
นึง
ๆก็ถ้ามีตังค์ก็ซื้อหุ้น AMD
มัน
เก็
เห็
บ
นแล้วภาพกว้างๆ มีอะไร
ทันไหมตอนนี้ทันปะ
IPC มาแล้ว
มีตังค์เหลือปะตอนนี้ช่วงนี้
Battlefield -3%
เอามาเก็บไว้ทำไมล่ะพี่ก็รอออก
มัน
ใหม่
ผลิตไม่ทันน่ะเขียว คุณจะเร่งเขายังไง390ราคา499
มันขึ้นไปแล้วไง
คืออยากคิดราคานั้น
ตอนเนี้ย
ที่ผมประเมินเมื่อตะกี้นะ ไอ้5,900
เนี่ยเขาคุยกันเรื่องว่า
เดี๋ยวก่อนเอารา
ไอ้
คา
พั
ถู
ฟิ
ก
ลอะทำไม-3
5,700
น่าสนใจมาก
ใจเย็นๆ เดี๋ยวมันค่อยๆ ทยอยมา คืออาจจะ OC 5 กิกได้ 5,092 คอ 24 เทรด 499
โอเค จบไลฟ์เถอะจบไลฟ์พี่ว่าพี่ดูช่องนี้ดีกว่า
คิดรวมๆก่อน 15,000 เป็นไปไม่ได้ที่ประเทศไทยจะขาย 15,000
โอเคครับ
มันต้อง
สวัสดีครับ
มีค่าแวตบวก โทษที บวกแวต 7% เท่ากับ พอบวกแวต 7% 15,900 16,000 แล้ว มันต้องมีเรื่องของกำไรต่างๆ อย่างน้อยก็ 16,000 กว่าๆ 16,000 หน่อยๆ 16,500
เนี่ยเดี๋ยวเขาคำนวณตัวนี้อยู่อะนุช่องเนี้ย